I'm John McDonald. I'm with Rampworth. And recently, we've been doing a number of posts around storytelling and specifically telling your purpose story. And it's a really important topic from our point of view as strategists, because when a leadership team isn't aligned around purpose and vision and what success looks like, they simply drift. You can't attract the best talent. You can't attract capital. You can't attract the best customers because honestly, the very best cares about purpose. So we're going to spend some time today talking about purpose with Cindy Carvalho, VP of Growth and Marketing from Petal Health.
Hi,
We've been doing stuff together because your Petal is the presenting partner for the upcoming THINKsummit in Toronto, and we're really excited about that. But that's not actually why I asked you here today. I'm hoping we can spend a bit of time on purpose, actually talking about purpose. And so by context for everybody, we held a couple recent workshops with you and your team.
Yes.
They were awesome. Kind of a, why do you do this sort of discussion? And I know that's awkward for some people, but they were awesome. And we came away with this kind of sense of, much better sense of what success looks like and what the purpose is. But I also came away with this idea that this is quite different because you were quite new to the team and you were on your own journey as VP of Growth and Marketing to figure this out. So I wanted to explore that a little bit, and I want to set the stage for you because we could just go, what's Petal's purpose? But maybe you could share your background and your journey.
Yes.
And where we'll go with that is like how you came to be with Petal, like your trajectory. But I really want to pull you back to how you thought about their purpose at that time. Then I want to dig into some of the work you did and then how you think about it now, and then why you bothered to do this at all. So can you give us a sense of how you got to be here?
Life has a funny way of working, right? So my background has always been in marketing and growth. Started 24 years ago. Not that I want to date myself, but I just
Right.
did.
Well, you started at 4.
Exactly. And essentially, I touched different industries, many in tech. So I touched upon the ERP industry, went into publishing for textbooks, for online solutions, for higher ed,
Right.
and also went into the ed tech market for some time. Also e-commerce, so I touched e-commerce as well. And like I said, afterwards, I went into the ed tech industry, stayed there for some time, more specifically in international student recruitment. And then
ed tech is so relevant for healthcare too, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, you work with similar stakeholders, not the same, but similar. And essentially, I decided to go into consulting.
You know that part.
Yes. So I was a fractional CMO. And that's how I started working with Petal, was as a fractional CMO. So they got me on board to help them with some challenges that they were facing with marketing. And I ended up really being fascinated by the industry, by the solution that Petal was offering the industry, and simply by the people I was working with.
It's a compelling team.
Absolutely. Very dedicated, passionate team. So it's hard to walk away from such a team. And I decided to join the team full time.
I bet that was an easy decision.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Absolutely.
But it's interesting because you touched on like they're a passionate team, and they are. But when we ran those sessions, it wasn't like they didn't just blurt out, here's our purpose. They're passionate. They're passionate about something, but it wasn't. And it's not unusual. Like a lot of teams struggle with this, but like they weren't superhuman about this.
No, and the thing is, one of the challenges Petal has is it started off modestly with scheduling, as simple as that, right? And it's evolved to become such a large, I don't want to say a connector, but it's grown to become such a platform that fits in perfectly within the ecosystem. So when discussing purpose, when discussing vision, it's often hard because there's so many different pieces within that platform.
Right.
And there are so many different benefits to implementing the platform, or bits and pieces, the modules essentially, that, how do you tie all of those back together to a single purpose?
I think this is a big struggle for most people, because you have to execute or you go out of business. But that's what you do, not why you do it.
Exactly.
And it's hard to separate those.
Exactly.
So you kind of eased in, but when you first started, can you remember what you thought their purpose was when you first began to work with Petal? Can you go back in history on that?
Yes, I can go back in history, and it was very complex, and I truly felt I felt the pain that they were feeling, which was what are we?
What are we, or what do we want to be when we grow up?
Both.
Both. Okay. Right.
Essentially both. And I think that we had the answer. It was just a question, again, of verbalizing it, or putting all of those pieces together to essentially come up with that answer of who are we and what are we trying to accomplish. Because at that time they were accomplishing many things,
right.
But that's the point. They were accomplishing many different things. So what was that central element, that central piece that brought it all together? Mm-hmm. And eventually I had a aha moment in the garage of the office as I was leaving. And
it's like a startup in the garage, but it was the aha in the garage.
It was the aha in the garage, not the startup. And I had this aha moment where all of a sudden I asked I remember saying this out loud: what is it that we do? And the answer just came to me.
Which was?
We solve healthcare's biggest challenge, which is access to care.
But there's so many threads you have to pull to get there.
Absolutely.
I don't mean to solve it. I mean to get that crisp.
Absolutely. There was a lot of reflection, but I guess you just need that moment of getting into your car to realize it.
I think it's always a moment. It's always, and I think it's a moment of clarity. We do this work with a lot of teams, and I've over the years come to call it the tent pole. Like you might be a big circus and you might have a whole bunch of stuff going on under the tent, but there's one central tent pole, and it's really hard to get there. So you did a bunch of work though to do that, to get there. Like you had the moment, but can you? And I'm going to ask you if you can reflect a little bit on how you went about it and so on, because at the end of that, I'm going to say, do you have any advice for other leaders who are trying to get there? So no surprises, but we did our sessions and that was great. And we have our way that we go about that, but you were already on this journey. So how did you had come in, you're struggling with this. How did you do it? And how did you bring everybody along and get them to want to do it?
Well, I think everyone wanted to have an outcome. Everyone wanted to know what our purpose was. So it wasn't
that sense like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't hard to rally everyone around, let's work on this, and this needs to be thought through. So that was the easy part, I would have to say, is there was this will to truly find.
That's not always the case.
No, it's not. It's not. Having worked with different companies, it's not.
Do you think it should be like, do leaderships, should they want to align around this?
They have to.
Yeah, I think so too. It was a leading question. Okay, so you got them. They want to do it. How'd you go about it?
I spent a lot of time with the different team members from various teams. So
one-on-one, like just discussion.
Just discussion, one-on-one, really trying to understand, asking the question like, but what do we do? And that was a fascinating part of it, is everyone had a different answer to the question, what do we do? What's that one thing we did? And what I realized is everyone was essentially just focused on that one thing they were focused on, working on, which is a natural reaction. And I think it was really my job to try translating that into like, okay, but what's like that one common denominator? So as simple as that, it was meetings.
Well, I suspect it was a little more than that. So you had the one-on-ones,
Yes.
You didn't just have it in your head. How did you then synthesize this and then start to align people?
Essentially, like I started pitching the different visions that I had. And then based on how people would react to it, then I would adjust. We went out into the market. So we did attend a few events where we were pitching
Right.
this purpose and seeing how people reacted
Did,
based on.
did you do that, or did you delegate that, or how did that happen?
I did it. A few folks did it.
Yeah.
So, and going to events and just
Yeah.
testing it out
Yeah.
and seeing how
Cool.
people reacted.
We call that story market fit.
Yes.
And it sounds trivial, but it's not.
No, it's not. Because if people don't react to it, then that's not the right purpose.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
don't understand it.
Two types of stories: meh and react.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as we were getting positive feedback, well, then we started refining our purpose, refining our message. And the truth is, we're still not perfectly there. So I think that, for Petal, but for any other company, there's a lot of refinement that needs to happen throughout the years. Because
Right.
what your message and your purpose might be 1 year might not be that 2 years down the road for a number of different reasons. It evolves. Just like a company grows, your messaging, your purpose has to evolve with it.
I feel like two things just happened there that tied a couple questions I had. One was like, does anything actionable come out of this? And I think you just inferred there's action, there's things you have to do. But I think you also just gave a little bit of advice, which might be like, it's not static. Don't give up, and it's not static.
Exactly. I truly don't believe that anything in marketing, but more specifically when it comes to your message, your mission, your vision, a lot of companies will stick to it for multiple years. I'm not saying that you should change it every 6 months. That's not my recommendation, but you need to evolve it because I don't think there's one perfect message out there. Perhaps just Nike would just do it, but other than that.
Yeah, well, but is that actually their purpose? That tagline, but is it their purpose?
It's not their purpose, but their purpose is involved as well.
Yeah, and I have this thing about mission. It's just a personal pet peeve, but people will talk about their mission, but like, it's not the right word. If you back up, like I often use, like, think of World War II. It was very clear they didn't want fascism to win.
Mhm.
That was the purpose. There were many missions. Take this beach, defend that city, but the purpose is bigger. And I think that's what you got to with Petal. So now, how articulate it for us? How do you say it now? Petal's purpose.
Well, essentially, we're still refining this, but
well, you have the purpose, and then what you're doing with marketing. That's what I'm interested in. Like just share a little bit of that. The challenge you're going through.
Again, it's the refinement. The challenge is really the refinement. And there's also this fear of not of perfection, but like the perfectionism. We want it to be perfect. And
we want it to be just do it.
Yes. We want it to be perfect, but it can't be perfect.
Yeah.
Because then it becomes static. And again, it depends who you speak with, right? Your purpose might resonate with someone, but not resonate with someone else. The question then comes, is that your ideal customer? If it's not.
I'm so glad you said that, because in the end, it's tribe building. You stand for something, and people who care about that thing come along.
Absolutely. The right people will come along if they connect with your purpose, with your message.
I think that's why it's just such a compelling quest to go on. Okay. I've taken a bunch of your time. I'm going to wrap up with a kind of unrelated question, but I think it's not unrelated.
Go for it.
So I mentioned at the beginning that Petal is presenting the upcoming ThinkSummit. That was your decision. You're the VP of marketing and growth. You decided to do this, but ThinkSummit's not a marketing event. It's like a mini think tank, and this one's focused on access to care. It's not 5,000 people. It's like 10 or 20 people. Why would you decide to do this?
Again, because we want to solve healthcare's biggest challenge, right? And if we want to do it, then we need to have those discussions, those debates, those Think Summits with folks who are part of the solution. We're not the only ones who are going to solve it. We need to really partner with stakeholders across the continuum of care to be able to come up with solutions. And that's why we're investing in it. That's why we're presenting it. And that's why we want to be part of that discussion as well.
I'm biased, obviously, but I applaud you for consciously trying to take a thought catalyst position rather than be the loudest voice in the room. It's awesome.
Usually the loudest person in the room isn't the right person. So
yeah, they're typically not listening either. Thank you very much for your time and for sharing so openly, Cindy. I really appreciate it. And we'll share this with other people because purpose matters.
Absolutely. And thank you for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
You're awesome. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.